Video 42 leading up to the Mets and Cubs. Our MLB Network showcase coming up around 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It's Greg Amsing and my good friend Harold Reynolds. Dan Plesac's on assignment. I thought I made
a Pat.
An executive decision that he wouldn't be on assignment anymore. But I guess the executives got mad that I made an executive decision.
Yeah, and they exec you.
And they sent him off.
You know where he had to go?
Where was it?
Canada.
Wow.
He had to get a passport approved.
Well, I think he already has a passport.
He had to take off.
So he's calling a game.
He's going to be going. You know how pumped he'll be to be calling Blue Jays?
Oh, yeah. The Blue Jays got to clean up their act.
We may as well talk about Dodger Blue.
Shohei Ohtani went yard again, Harold. His 54th of the year.
He was incredible. That ball was down, golfed. The amazing thing about Ohtani is he doesn't take batting practice.
Kershaw's just letting it all hang out right now. He doesn't even care. He's like, I'm retiring at the end of the year. Shirts and skins, here we go. Ohtani hit his 54th. Freddie Freeman hit 2 home runs in this game. Here's the Ohtani home run.
Watch this pitch. Down, golfed.
That's with one arm.
Tremendous extension. I mean, just getting it. That looked like a 1990s swing. Everybody's having the one-hand release.
Gibson, like the Kirk Gibson Eckersley homer.
Yes. That stuff. That was pretty impressive. But he is something special. 54 homers, 50 last year, 50 plus.
Stolen bases are down, but he's pitching this year, so and he's been dynamite.
We'll never see anything like this guy ever again.
It looks like to me, Harold, the grand plan from Andrew Friedman and Dave Roberts, it's all coming together beautifully.
Coming together.
Roki Sasaki in the bullpen. Did you see him last night?
Oh, yes, I did.
Weapon.
Yes,
Yoshinobu Yamamoto, did you see him today? He was incredible. Freddie Freeman's 36 years old. Took him a while to really get going. Here we are, last weekend of the regular season coming up. He had 2 home runs in this game today. He's got 23 on the year. Andy Pages hit a home run. His 27th of the year. Quietly having a monster season as a center fielder.
Yeah, and you're starting to get guys back as well. So that's, to me, they're putting it healthy like you talked about. But you look at September, October is not going to be normal for these guys. It's really May or June. Most people have that wear and tear on their body, and it's, we've been through the dog days of August, and we're dragging through September. Everybody's sore this time of year. Not them.
So, do you remember the argument that we had with our good friend who's on assignment, Dan Plesac, around the All-Star break, when there were so many players on the IL, and he kept saying, Greg, I'm really worried about the Dodgers. I'm worried about the Dodgers pitching. I go, can you stop, please?
Yeah.
They're all going to be fine. They'll be 100% come postseason time. Greg, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. Can we just admit that he was wrong?
Yeah, we're going to admit
blatantly
he's
wrong.
He's not here to defend himself.
I love doing that. I don't know why he's that a rule.
You know the difference, though?
Why can't you only talk about people when they're not here to defend themselves? I think
you should be able to do it.
We should be able to do that, yeah.
But here's the difference for even our viewers at home. Because the game usually was not like this, where you can, he's not going to be ready in time. There are so many ways that guys get in shape now. And they go through bullpens. They go through all these labs that they have that was not available or even thought about in yesteryear. So that's where they're like, I don't know, the guy's got to throw a game. I don't know if he'll get ready. These guys are throwing simulated games underneath the stadium.
Right.
You never see in state-of-the-art stuff. And so they're able to get a little bit more ready than guys were years ago.
They won the division title, and Mookie Betts had his worst season, arguably, of his career.
Offensively. But he may win a Gold Glove at shortstop.
He might.
Look, Mookie lost, 25 pounds? We're just starting to see him put his weight back on.
He had a hit today, and he's playing much better.
This last month, he's been on a roll. So they're to me, they're going to be tough to beat. They are hard.
What's the one issue that they have?
It's been bullpen.
It's been their bullpen.
But if Sasaki can show what he did today, he can heal a lot of those wounds because they've been force-feeding a lot of guys in different roles. I think they got to figure out what they're going to do with Scott because I don't see him closing. He's been scuffling so much. But let me show you. This is Sasaki early in the year, right? This is where we saw him. Everything up, ball running all over the place, couldn't control it. He was nervous. The ball's everywhere. and he got hammered, and he just was not able to get it together. Then he went to Arizona, and that was it. Bye-bye, you're done. Look who hit that home run. Tell Marte, look who hit that one. Naylor, look who's the next one.
Suarez.
So they didn't see those guys. No
They're
more.
gone.
They're gone.
They might see those guys later.
You might see them in the World Series.
Right.
Dave just came and got the ball. But look at last night. Watch where the location is. Everything is down. Everything is down. I mean, 100 miles an hour running. The split is down. Everything. It's not the ball up here anymore. And the reason that's so important, when you're throwing a split fastball, and now I got to read it when the ball's down low, that's when you start chasing balls like that one. You know, it just becomes so much more effective. Shohei knows it.
It was easy.
Everybody
hundo.
knows it.
He was throwing an easy 100.
Easy.
All right, so take a look at this.
Look
as you know, front offices, all they care about is what have you done for me lately. The last 4 starts for each one of the starters. You tell me, looking at these numbers right here, swing and miss prevails. That's wildly important. Who is your game 1, game 2 starter? You could leave that up there for a little bit.
Well, it's just in that order for me. You go, Shohei's going to go game 2 for me. Yamamoto game 1, Shohei game 2, then Blake Snell, then Glasnow.
I don't think, as great as Yamamoto was today, there's no pitcher with better stuff other than maybe Paul Skeens, but Ohtani is the most dominant pitcher. A 12.4 K per 9, 0.46 ERA. His stuff is unbelievable right now.
It is, but let me explain like I explained last night. He's going to throw game 2, and then you have a day off. And so it's going to allow him to have an off day after he pitches. And the numbers will bear it out. I don't remember the numbers.
He said he 136 if he has to hit the day after he pitches.
But the 7 games after that, when he had days off, then he was able to come back and be the Shohei you want. So if it's already built in schedule-wise, why would you force him to throw game 1? He would throw game 2, and he'd have the day off. Or, depending on how the schedule unfolds the rest of the way, I would look for him to pitch the game before the off day.
If all things work out for the Dodgers and they win the World Series, will Shohei Ohtani appear out of the bullpen?
If he needs to close the game out in game 7. But other than that, no, because Shohei's going to close games out with a bat in like the 6th inning. You know, so I don't see that happening. I see him starting, staying healthy. Remember, he didn't finish the World Series healthy last year.
Right. Is Sasaki the closer of the Dodgers for the playoffs?
I don't know if they can trust him to throw strikes enough.
So Tanner Scott, you're worried about.
I'm worried about.
They go back to Blake Trinan?
Blake Trinan's the key. He's the key. If Blake Trinan can figure it out, he has not thrown well in the last 2 weeks. He is the key to their success.
Major question mark, man. It's a major question mark for the Dodgers. But again, they're not talking about that right now. They won their 4th straight NL West division title. I want to talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks. This was a bit of a dud performance. And they came back 2 nights ago. They were able to beat the Dodgers. We're all in. The stakes, they're still alive. Then yesterday, heartbreaker, right? They lose in 11 innings. But this was just absolute domination. Yamamoto didn't give them any opportunities to make this even a competitive game.
Well, that's why you always say momentum's as good as the next day's starter. Look, I'm sure the D-backs came there and said, let's go. Yamamoto gave them nothing to work with. He dominated them.
And it was a bullpen game for the Diamondbacks.
And that just happens. I mean, he's getting good hitters out with nasty stuff. He hadn't had a breaking ball like that all year. And he mixed that with his split and his fastball had great velocity. He was just tough, and they ran into a buzzsaw. They got to get off the mat and go get somebody else tomorrow.
If the Diamondbacks end up 1 game out of the wild card, they don't go to the playoffs, I feel for all Diamondback fans. Because you have to at least admit, if they still had Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, the Merrill Kelly, Shelby Miller, if they had those guys, they would be at least 2 games better than they are right now, right?
If they had those guys, they might be looking at winning the West.
Think about it.
Because the Dodgers, I think everybody thought the Dodgers were going to blow everyone away. We'll figure out where we're going, and they didn't think they were going to compete.
Now, we had Ben Verlander on the show, the Flippin' Bats podcast host, a very entertaining guy on social media, Justin Verlander's brother. He said they wouldn't be the team they are right now, making this surge to the wild card if they had all of those players. That maybe trading all of those players kind of rattled their cage a bit.
I get that, but they traded away too much talent. Talent always prevails. I don't care what upsetness or fights you might have. Don't tell me the guys you traded away are less talented than the guys you kept.
Yeah, and don't tell Yoshinobu Yamamoto that he'd rather face a lineup that featured Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez hitting 3-4 compared to the lineup that he faced.
Thank you, John. Dave, first and foremost, congratulations. When you guys came into this season, you set a goal of getting back to the World Series and ultimately being back-to-back champions. But it starts with this. What does it mean to be named the National League West champions?
It means a lot, as you start spring training, and this is the first step. We believe that the National League West runs through Los Angeles, and we did one part of the equation, and it took a lot to get to this point, and just so proud of the way that these guys fought, persevered, and everyone was accountable. No one made excuses, and we grew from a lot of adversity. And like I said, in the recent weeks, we're playing our baseball right now.
And how you guys won today. How does a win like this embody what you all can do come October?
Yeah, it's good. It was a team effort. Obviously, with the starting pitching, Yoshi was great. The guys in the bullpen did a great job, and the offense did a fantastic job. So, again, just a great team effort.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto had his 200th strikeout of this season. He was excellent today. How was just the perfect ending to his regular season?
It was a great finish to a great start of the season. So I'm proud of him and his growth, and he's a staff ace.
All right, well, I'll let you go get in this picture. Congratulations.
Thanks, Kirsten.
All right, so the Dodgers are lining up to take their photo at Chase Field. Last year, they took 4 of these photos. The last one at Yankee Stadium as World Series champions. They're going to have to take 5 photos this year, Adrian, if they want to hoist another World Series championship banner, because they will play in an extra round, that wild card series. But you can see the guys, they've taken their picture. They can't wait to get inside the clubhouse to celebrate.
Absolutely. That's the goal, is to get inside the clubhouse and really celebrate together and pop that champagne and let it burn, So this year's going to be a little bit difficult, more difficult of a road because of that extra series, but they are ready, and they clinched so late in the season that they are ready to go. They had to play their best baseball at the end in order to let this happen. So now that they're ready to go, three days from now, let it all start.
John, you mentioned that they're going to have to take an extra picture. Good thing there's a lot of guys on the team that are very photogenic, and they like the camera, but this is a tough road. But no matter what, even if you had that bye, it's still a tough road. Yeah. It is a gauntlet to get to the World Series and to win it. They understand it, but I kind of like this road this year, because I think to repeat, you need a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, a little bit of an edge. So being in that wild card round maybe adds that little chip on them, and they can really catch fire with that wild card series and then head whoever you play in the NLDS.
Yeah, we don't know who they're going to play yet in that wild card series beginning Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. Could be the Mets, it could be the Reds, could be the Diamondbacks. They don't really care about that right now. They just can't wait to pop the tops on some champagne. We'll hear from Dave Roberts addressing the team momentarily as well. Jerry, are you a goggles guy, or are you a let it burn guy?
I'm an Usher guy. I like to let it burn, okay? No goggles. Whether it's your Budweiser, whether it's a Champagne. I'm a Champagne guy. I love the bubbly, drink it a little bit, spray champagne, but I want to feel the burn, no goggles.
Yeah, 100%. You want to go to the champagne bottle. That sprays a lot better than the beer. The beer is afterwards. The beer comes after.
Dump on Bessay's head.
Exactly. That's all that's for. No, but it's definitely champagne. You shouldn't use goggles. That's just protection that you don't need. You gotta let it hit the eyes.
Don't throw any goggles toward Kirsch. He doesn't want them.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's going to be shirtless very, very soon to kind of feel everything.
Yeah, he usually does. The Dodgers making their way inside their visiting clubhouse at Chase Field. Another job well done. 13th straight year in the postseason, 12 division titles. The one year they didn't win the division title, they won 106 games. They have 90 wins right now after today's game, and that was good enough to win the NL West for the 4th straight year.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter how many wins you have in the regular season. In sports, okay, if you go undefeated in football, okay, we get it. But it doesn't matter if you have 90 wins in the big leagues to win your division. The main thing is you win your division, and it's all about winning the World Series. Nobody's going to care how many wins you had in the regular season as long as you win the World Series.
Yeah, it's about winning the last game, and the last game is what matters. So this is all that matters, and really, 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 it's a team that has gone through a lot, and they have built character because of it. So they're ready for this extra series, that extra grind. And like you said, Jerry, this is a team that can gain a ton of momentum because winning that wild card series and get into the next couple series with a ton of momentum going forward. So, this team is ready to compete come wild card round.
Yeah, it wasn't always smooth for this team this year. We heard Joe Davis talking about it toward the end of the broadcast. There were people saying, this team could threaten the Mariners' single-season record, 116 wins. They didn't even win 100 games, didn't even get close to that. But this is a team, Adrian, that really had to persevere. They grinded their way to this NL West title. And I think that's why this one is really worth celebrating today in a big way.
It was a grind. And I don't think anybody in the clubhouse will deny that. It was a grind. They had a lot of injuries early. They had different ways they had to win. They won with their bullpen early in the year. Then they won with their offense. Now they're winning with the starting rotation. You put it all together, though, everybody's clicking. I don't think there's a team that can stop us. So that is the beauty of this team, is that they've shown they can win different ways, and they can do it with different people, and it's a full team effort. That's what it's going to take to win in October.
Gonzo, you just made a great point. It's almost like they had 3 seasons in one. You mentioned the bullpen was outstanding really early, and then the offense really carried us for quite some time, and now it's been the starting pitching, but now we're starting to see some momentum. This team bringing it all together, and hopefully now that we bring this together, it's going to be very tough if the Dodgers are firing on all cylinders to be knocked out of this postseason. So it's great that they're playing their very best baseball heading into the postseason.
All right, you see the clubhouse filling up. Dave Roberts is going to address the group there momentarily. And, of course, Kershaw already has his shirt off. And a few others as well. There's Clayton. And he's going to soak it all in more ways than one in his 18th and final season here with the Dodgers. And he would love to go out as a 3-time World Series champ. He's about to be a dad 5 times over.
Well, he's got the dad bod working. So, that dad bod working.
And he's proud of it.
Very proud. And that's an 18-year Major League veteran, future Hall of Famer. And it's good to see him celebrate. We got to have him celebrate a lot more in this postseason, and hopefully capped off of the World Series.
Champagne's about to be flowing inside that clubhouse. This is a moment guys have been waiting more than 6 months for. This is a moment you think about when you first get to Camelback Ranch to start spring training. Goal number 1 is to win the division, and the Dodgers able to get it done once again here in 2025.
100%. And credit to the clubhouse staff before we get going with the celebration here to prepare the clubhouse, get it ready for the guys to be able to have their celebration here. Alex Torres and the guys are always on top of it. They are doing an incredible job, and now it's time for the players to enjoy.
Helped having an 8-0 lead.